This is the story of an E-rank hunter, Sung Jinwoo, who is considered the weakest hunter in the world, and everyone mocks him. However, he doesn't pay attention to their words because, after his father's death, he is the only one supporting the family. He needs money for his mother's treatment, who is in a coma, and he also has the responsibility of educating his younger sister. Despite being the weakest, he risks his life every day to earn a little money. But one day, when everyone abandons him to die in a dungeon, the story begins. At the start of the story, we are shown a scene from 3 years ago, where there is commotion on an island. A soldier says to his captain, "Shouldn't we help them?" The captain replies, "You know as well as I do that our weapons are useless against them, so we must leave this situation to the hunters." On this island, many hunters are fighting massive ants. If they allow them to escape, everything will be over. Therefore, all the soldiers try to stop them here. Some hunters use their magical powers to attack the ants, but their attacks have no effect on the ants, who then begin attacking and eating the hunters. The ants are so powerful that the hunters can't withstand them. One person thinks to himself, "It seems like this is the end for me," and just then, an S-class hunter named Min arrives and saves him, healing all his wounds with his healing power. However, some ants attack Min, but another hunter, Yoon Sok, comes to save him. Together, Yoon Sok and Min defeat the remaining ants. The other hunters, seeing these S-class hunters, are thrilled. Yoon Sok says to Min, "This time, you advanced a little too quickly. Please forgive me, but I wanted to save some people. And anyway, I was confident you'd save me." Just then, a huge white-colored ant attacks them. Yoon Sok and Min move forward to fight it, with Yoon Sok attacking the ant with lightning, and Yoon Sok breaking the ant's teeth, then piercing its body with its own teeth, killing it. But soon, many more white ants attack them. Yoon Sok says, "Looks like things are about to get more exciting." They both attack the ants together. Meanwhile, an S-class hunter watches their battle from a distance and says, "It seems they arrived in time. Now, we must handle them." There are many other hunters with him, and one of them, Choi, uses his eyes to destroy the red ants, while the white ants remain unaffected. He tells the other hunters to attack the white ants. We are then told a story from more than 10 years ago, when a portal suddenly opened in the world, linking it to different dimensions. Inside this portal were many monsters, and ordinary human weapons were useless against them. However, some humans gained special abilities to fight these monsters, and they were called hunters. These hunters were divided into different ranks based on their powers, S rank at the top, followed by A, B, C, D, and E rank at the bottom. Once a hunter's power awakens, no matter how hard they try, they cannot upgrade their abilities further. The story then shifts to the present, where we see a city with a portal opening in a construction building. Kim is preparing for his next mission in the dungeon, but his friend Park arrives. Kim says, "What are you doing here? I thought you quit being a hunter." "My wife is pregnant again, so that means you want to make money from this mission? Don't worry, if this mission is successful, we'll earn a lot of money. I'm just worried about whether I can fight those things alongside you." And then our main character, Sang, shows up. Everyone seems really happy to see him. You might be wondering, is he the strongest? Is that why everyone's smiling? Nope. It's actually the complete opposite of what you're thinking. He came here after quitting his job as a hunter. In fact, he's known as the weakest hunter in all of mankind. He even got injured and hospitalized during an E-rank dungeon. Is he really that weak? Yes, absolutely. And if he's here, that probably means this mission is going to be super easy. So stop talking so loud. What if he hears you? Sang, meanwhile, thinks to himself, "I already heard everything. And it's all true." That's when Juhi walks up to him and asks, "What happened to your face?" "Nothing. It's just become a regular thing now," Sang replies. "I heard you were hospitalized." "Yeah, it was an E-rank dungeon. I got really injured. But didn't they have a healer with them?" "Well, everyone else was a high-ranking hunter, so they didn't really need a healer. And besides, it was my fault. I'm way weaker than them. I'm sure you've realized that too." Anyway, Sang continues, "Looks like it's time to go." Then Sang says out loud, "If nobody has a problem, I'd like to be the captain of this mission." And surprisingly, nobody objects, because Sang is a high-ranking hunter. One by one, everyone starts entering the portal. "Sang, stay behind us and be careful. Don't get hurt again," someone says. Sang looks at his knife and thinks, "This is such a small blade with barely any power. But it's all I could afford with my earnings." Then he says to himself, "Alright. Let's try to do something cool today." Meanwhile, elsewhere, someone is asking President Go about his recent meeting with the government. President Go replies, "They keep repeating the same thing. We can't allow these dungeons to break. And we have to keep supplying them with the resources we get from these dungeons. You see, A dungeon break means that if a dungeon isn't cleared within 7 days of appearing, all the monsters inside will escape and wreak havoc on the world. President Go continues, honestly, what the government is saying isn't wrong. All of us survive by selling the things we collect from these dungeons. When we kill magical monsters, they drop crystals, we call them magic gems, and we sell those to earn a living. Back in the dungeon, we see Sang kill a monster and extract a crystal from it. He's visibly happy. But suddenly, another monster attacks him and cracks his knife. Sang dodges and tries to counterattack, but his knife breaks completely. The monster stabs him in the stomach with its sword. Just in time, Park arrives and saves him, yelling at Juhee to heal Sang. While Juhee heals him, the rest of the team continues fighting the monsters bravely. President Go explains, the magic gems we get from high-ranked magical beasts can be turned into powerful weapons, so we can fight stronger enemies. We also get mana crystals, they're not as powerful as magic gems, but the government wants to use them as a new energy source. They're not as dangerous as nuclear power, and more efficient than hydro, wind, or geothermal. Plus, they create less air pollution than thermal power, which makes them an ideal green energy. The government is looking for ways to generate electricity using mana crystals and magic gems. And all of this depends on what hunters bring back. So yeah, hunters are really important. Eventually, the hunters defeat the dungeon's boss monster. Afterward, Juhee looks at Sang and asks, why do you want to be a hunter anyway? One day, this will really cost you. You got seriously hurt this time. Sang apologizes, but Juhee is furious with him. Meanwhile, the others are gathering the magic gems and mana crystals. Sang looks around and thinks, so it's finally over. But after all that, I only got an E-class gem. Did I really risk my life for this? Just then, they notice a cave ahead. Someone says, is this a double dungeon? I've heard of these. A girl replies, you might be right. We already defeated the boss, and yet, the dungeon still hasn't closed. Then Kim says, that means there might be a lot more stuff to find inside this cave. Sang replies, in this situation, we should report to the Hunters Association and follow their instructions. Kim then asks, so, are you saying we should just leave the rest of the loot for the hunters who come after us? Park responds, this is just a D-rank dungeon. We should keep moving forward. My wife is pregnant, and there are barely any mana crystals here anyway, so we can't afford to waste time. Sang agrees, I get what you're saying, but it's also true that there could be unknown dangers ahead. So let's vote on it. The group votes, and it ends in a tie. Sang then says, only Sung hasn't voted yet. So, what do you want to do? Sung thinks to himself, I know this D-rank dungeon is already tough for me, but ever since my father disappeared, I've been the only one earning for my family. My mom is in the hospital right now, and my sister needs money for college. He then votes in favor of going deeper into the dungeon. Elsewhere, we see a place where all the hunters are being ranked according to their powers using a black crystal. Outside, different agencies are trying to recruit these hunters by convincing them to join. One person tells Choi, a B-rank hunter and 2 C-rank hunters have already agreed to join our association. Everything is going smoothly. Choi replies, you're doing great. If you see any talent, recruit them without hesitation. But I don't think we'll ever find another hunter like Cha. Meanwhile, in the city, 2 people snatch a lady's purse and try to escape, but Cha appears and teaches them a lesson, retrieving the purse. Everyone watching cheers for her, but she walks away as the crowd grows. Back in the dungeon, the group continues deeper. One person says, after the boss is defeated, these portals usually close within an hour. We've already been walking for 40 minutes, so we've only got 20 minutes left. Sang apologizes to Juhee, I'm sorry you had to come in here because of my vote. Are you okay? Juhee replies, how can anyone be okay in a place like this? Do you realize if that monster had hit you just a bit harder, you'd be dead? I barely managed to heal your wounds. And here you are, rushing in again like a maniac. Are you out of your mind? Sang apologizes again and thinks, it's only thanks to this B-rank healer, Juhee, that I'm still alive. Juhee then says, if you really want to apologize, you'll have to take me out for a meal next time. Surprised, Sang asks, why the face? You don't want to eat with me? He responds, no, it's not like that. Then, the group finds the boss room. Kim says, it's rare to see such a huge door. Let's go inside, we can't leave empty-handed. Let's all go in together and come out together. Right, Captain? Sang nods in agreement. Elsewhere, the president of the Hunter Association, Go, welcomes new hunters. Welcome, everyone. Some of you will become hunters, while others will have to return to their normal lives. These portals have existed in this world for more than 10 years, and there are still many mysteries we don't understand about dungeons. Becoming a hunter means putting your life at risk. No matter how many missions you've completed, you must remain vigilant. If you want to stay alive, You need to be aware of everything around you. Back in the dungeon, the group opens the massive door. As they enter, all the torches inside suddenly light up. One of them says, "We've never been in a dungeon like this before. What kind of statues are these? They look ancient, some even have musical instruments." Sang points to one and says, "This statue seems to be the biggest one here." Another member says, "There aren't any magical beasts? Everything feels strangely quiet here." Then Sank sees a magical circle, and some people call him over to read some ancient languages. As Sank reads it aloud, he says, "Greater than the commandments of the law temple. Greater than first rule, worship God. Greater than second, praise God. Greater than third, have faith in God. Greater than and those who do not follow these rules will not leave this place alive." Jui then tells Sank, "Look over there. That big statue's eyes just moved. It's looking at us." Sank replies, "What are you saying? I think you're imagining things." But just then, we see the door of the room suddenly shut. Scared, Jui says, "Are we trapped in here?" Someone else adds, "This is why I didn't want to come here in the first place. This is all happening because you people thought this dungeon would be easy. We never should have come. I'm leaving. If you find any treasure, divide it among yourselves. So, goodbye." And the moment he touches the door, the guardian of the gate kills him instantly. Everyone is shocked and terrified. One of them asks, "Do we have to fight that thing now?" Sank starts thinking, the one who just died. What was his rank? No matter what, he was stronger than me, an E-rank hunter. And still, he was killed in the blink of an eye. This is weird. Is this really a D-rank dungeon? Are such creatures even supposed to be here? Sank says aloud, "If this statue can move, that means the others probably can too." He stares into the eyes of the large statue, and suddenly, its eyes look back at him. Sank continues, "I've faced life and death situations before. In my very first raid mission, I got separated from my team and was attacked by an E-rank magic beast. I was hospitalized for weeks. Once, I even got trapped in a maze with no food for days. For me, even low-rank dungeons feel like life or death. Hunters use the money they earn from magic gems to buy advanced weapons and become stronger to defeat higher-level magic beasts and earn bigger rewards. But all I have is a cheap little knife. If that breaks, I'll have to fight barehanded. Even so, I have no choice but to enter these dangerous dungeons. I need the money to survive. That's why I always observe everything closely, looking for weaknesses, because every dungeon could be my last." Suddenly, he yells for everyone to bow down. The statue's eyes start glowing with fire, and then, it incinerates a man right in front of everyone. People scream, terrified and confused. Sank, frozen in fear, thinks to himself, "Greater than what is happening here? Greater than we're trapped? Greater than there's no way out? Greater than am I going to die here?" Guys, by the end of this episode, I seriously got goosebumps. At first, I thought it was going to be a boring episode, but it got super intense by the end. Now I'm seriously wondering, what kind of dungeon is this? It'll be so interesting to see who makes it out alive. Comment and let me know what you thought of this episode.